Good afternoon, and we are back with another tactical clinic, back a bit earlier than expected because I have brought something much more interesting for a lot of you. A lot of you will have heard of Knap and his tactics, a lot of you will have played with these tactics, and today I'm going to show you the Beowulf 4-2-4 with the two inside forwards and two segundo volantes. I spoke to Knap earlier this week and he is letting me run this simulation for YouTube, and I will link the tactic and all of his tactics in the description below. If you have never seen them and you are interested, you can get them all down there. So this tactic is a very attacking tactic. As you can see, playing with the sweeper keeper, two wing backs, two ball playing defenders, two segundo volantes as advised, then the two inside forwards on attack duty and the two advanced forwards on attack duty. So this front four should just collectively score so many goals and set up each other so well. So it's a balanced mentality to start. We're going with the short passing it into space, low crosses into the box while running at the defence. So the two inside forwards will constantly be running in behind to play alongside the two strikers. We're going to work the ball into the box. Play's going to be focused down both sides. We're going to overlap down both sides, and the tempo is very high. So a very fast-paced attacking tactic, which is the way Knap likes to play a lot of his tactics. So when in transition, we're going to counter press. We're going to counter. We're going to have the goalkeeper distribute it to the fullbacks to get the ball up the pitch as quickly as possible. Out of possession, as expected, we're going with a high press, standard defensive line. We're going to prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, and we are going to trigger that press much more often. So for today's tactic, we are testing it with Liverpool, who are predicted to finish second in the Premier League. We are also testing it with Aberdeen up in Scotland, who are predicted to finish in 5th place behind the Old Firm and the two Edinburgh clubs. And lastly, we are testing it with Oxford United in League One, who are expected to finish in 10th place. So we're going to simulate this for all three teams and see how well this tactic does for us. So I'm going to fast forward just now and we will get to the results. See you in a couple of minutes. Here we are at the end of the season with Oxford United, and just taking a quick glance, you can see it has been a very successful season indeed. Picking up the Papa John's trophy, I think it was Tottenham under 21s, yes it was, that they beat in the final 2-0. They lost out in the Carabao Cup first round to Ipswich, which is a bit disappointing to lose out in the Cup to a divisional rival. Emirates FA Cup, we have been knocked out by AFC Bournemouth in the 5th round. Now, we look at Sky Bet League One and things have gone much better than expected for them. So as you can see, across the season they've won 35 games, drawing 7 and only losing 4, finishing on 112 points with a 74 goal difference. So if we just take a look at the full table, we can see that this tactic has led Oxford to score a massive 113 goals in 46 games, which is absolutely phenomenal for a team like Oxford. Take a look at the squad, see where the goals are coming from. So Kyle Joseph, who's in on loan, young Scottish boy, I like to see that obviously. 27 goals and 5 assists. Matty Taylor with 21 goals, 4 assists. Josh Murphy, one of the wide men with 17 goals and 11 assists, and Billy Bodden, the other wide man with 16 goals and 17 assists. So as you can see there, the two forwards both scoring 20 plus goals, and then the two inside forwards both in the high teens for goals, and then between them getting 20 assists as well. You can see as well, just the amount of goals scored has been spread so much between the squad. How many players have we got here that have scored for us this season? Let's take a look. And we can see 19 players have scored for us this season. That is absolutely phenomenal to see. So we will take a look and see if there's been any absolute massive results. Plymouth 7-1 and Portsmouth 6-1. Coincidentally, that's the two League One teams that we have tested this with in previous experiments. And then we've also got 6-0 against Forest, 5-2 against Charlton, 4-3 against Wednesday. A lot of, just look at the amount of goals. So if we put it back in order, we'll kind of see the form we were in. So as you can see, started off League One phenomenally. Didn't lose a game until 10th of September. And then from there, we just went on an absolute tear. From September, not losing another game till we lost at the start of March in the FA Cup, but not losing another league game until late on in March. So as you can see, this tactic has just done absolutely phenomenally for Oxford United. And Oxford will be playing in the Championship next season. So now we'll just go and we'll take a look and see how Aberdeen have got on up in Scotland. See if they've been able to qualify for Europe again and see if they have been able to best the old firm as well. We'll just go and check that out now. Here we are with Aberdeen. As we can see, they were runners-up in the Premier Sports Cup. Very unlucky. Let's see, they've lost 2-1 to Celtic there. Going 2-0 down before Duke or Duck scoring in the 78th. Very unfortunate. You can see here, they didn't have the possession, but they definitely had more shots in the game. Maybe a bit unlucky to lose that one. When we look at the Scottish Cup, they've been put out the semi-finals by Celtic again. And then because the Scottish Premiership has a relegation playoff, that's why the league table's covered. So it's giving you a bit of suspense to see what happens. We can see here Celtic have won the league, but how have Aberdeen got on? Aberdeen have finished in second place, 78 points, 3 ahead of Rangers. And that means they have qualified for the Champions League this season because Scotland now gets 2 teams in the Champions League again. So Aberdeen have beaten Rangers to that second spot. You can see they were a long way off Celtic, but Celtic are just a juggernaut of a team, especially the last 10 years. They have just been dominating Scottish football. But to finish second ahead of Rangers and then to finish 20 points clear of Hearts in fourth and then finishing 28 points ahead of fifth place Hibs, so 28 points clear of where they should have finished or were predicted to finish this season. Again, we'll take a look at the squad. We can see here Bojan Miovski with 35 goals in all competitions, Duke or Duck, as mentioned earlier, with 21 goals, Christian Ramirez with 20, and Vicente Bejuin, sorry if I've butchered that name, with 10 goals. He managed to get 17 assists to be the top provider of the team. And again, just like at Oxford, look at the amount of players that have got in and scored goals or have assisted goals. So now we'll take a look and see how Liverpool have got on. Have they won the Premier League? Have they won the Champions League? We will take a look and find out right now. So here we are with Liverpool. As you can see, Liverpool have finished second in the Premier League with a massive 96 points. Unfortunately, Man City just the better team with 105. And as you can see, Manchester City also beat us to the Champions League by knocking us out in the quarter-finals. In the Emirates FA Cup, we have won and we have exacted some revenge and we have battered Manchester City 7-1. Luis Diaz with a goal, Mo Salah with a hat-trick and Diogo Jota with another hat-trick. An absolutely phenomenal performance in the final. Especially when you look here, 37% possession and we won 7-1. Now, we also lost out in the Carabao Cup, losing in the fourth round to Chelsea, as well as winning the Community Shield by beating Man City 2-1. And in that game, we were unable to see the fixtures, unfortunately. But there you go. So we beat Man City in 2 cup finals, and they have went on and knocked us out of the Champions League and won the Premier League. Let's take a look and see how the squad have got on. Mo Salah with 42 goals and 19 assists, so by far the top goal scorer, and I think he's also the top assister as well. Yep, he is. Only beating Luis Diaz with 18 assists there. As you can see, we have 4 players with 20 or more goals. Diaz, Firmino, Nunez and Salah all scoring 20 plus goals. Even Diogo Jota, who was a bit part player this season, scored 16. Much like Oxford and Aberdeen, look at the amount of players that are scoring goals here. Again, we will just take a look, just like at Oxford, see how many players actually scored for us this season. Taking out the 2 loan men, 17 players it'll be. 17 players have scored for us this season. Absolutely phenomenal. Any other high assists? So Salah with 19, Diaz with 18, Thiago with 15, Alexander Arnold with 12, Nunez 11, Fabinho 11, and Andy Robertson, like to see it as a fellow Scotsman, with 10 assists. So here we are again, that is the Knap Beowulf tactic. 2 inside forwards and 2 secondo volantes. If you think this tactic's been a success, I think the results are fairly obvious it has been. Please let me know down in the description. Please like the video, please subscribe if you haven't already, and as I mentioned at the start of the video, I will leave a link down below to the tactics for Knap if you've never seen them before and want to see a bit more. Again, this has been the Flying Scotsman FM. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back again next week with another tactical clinic.